supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, the wedding of Asia's richest man is Anand Ambani, and businessman par excellence, no question about it. And his son is Anand, and he has married Radhika Merchant in a amazingly spectacular ceremony in India. And in fact, two former British Prime Ministers, Boris Johnson and his wife, and Tony Blair and his wife, were at it, and so were the Kardashians and Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra and others. Now, I think that what is linked to this report about Harry, I think it's linked to a very desperate desire by the Sussexes to be seen at what we would call A-list events. I would say that, for example, in Hollywood, if you look at the list, say, of those who, in one way or another, supported the royal family recently, I mean, Tom Cruise, going back quite a while, a great royalist, as we know from his meeting with the Queen, but also with Queen Elizabeth, but also, of course, we've had Tom Cruise in several royal events. In fact, there's no doubt at all that he is very in with the royals. But it's not just Cruise. I mean, if you look at Idris Elba, he began with a grant from the then Prince's Trust, now the King's Trust. Now he's helping the King's Trust. And you look also at the ambassador of the King's Foundation, David Beckham. Now again, the Beckhams were reportedly close to Harry and Meghan. And also reports have been pretty consistent that the couples have fallen out, and that this had something to do with the way David Beckham was snubbed, or felt he was snubbed, when he attended the Invictus Games in 2018 in Australia. I think that the test of the friendship between the Beckhams and the Sussexes was very, very clearly when Brooklyn Beckham married. The Sussexes weren't there. So it would appear, if you look at Tom Cruise, if you look at Idris Elba, if you look at the Beckhams, you look at Gwyneth Paltrow puts posts online about Catherine and so forth. There's a host of celebrities who are interested in or supportive of royalty. Now, you have to ask, what have the Sussexes been to, or have they been seen with? I mean, they went with Zoe Saldana and Cameron Diaz to Las Vegas last year. They attended Beyonce's concert, and fair enough, they've got a lot on their plate. They have a family to raise. Meghan's got her program for Netflix. We're waiting to see what that is going to be like. Harry's a series on polo. They've got charities and so forth. But how A-list is it, and who are they connecting with? And when you ask that question, that's why there are all these rumors about about whether Harry would attend the spectacular wedding at post-wedding commemorative celebrations, which seem to be going on for about 2 months, I understand, at Stoke Park, which Anand Ambani owns. So it's unlike, the reason I think it's probably unlikely is the issue dealing with security, but he is questioning, and has the right to take this to the High Court, the issue of his security, which he believes hasn't been thought through, and he believes he can challenge it in the Court of Appeal. The understanding when he stepped down, undoubtedly, as a senior working royal, was that he would lose automatic security, and the case at the Home Office is being handled on a case-by-case basis, but he believes this has been inadequately thought through, and it will be interesting to see what the decision there is, because is he not, and you could claim some form of a special VIP, there's that category. So if he were to come to Britain before that announcement, it would perhaps raise eyebrows. Equally, there is no doubt that what this underlines, while all these rumours underline, is that the Sussexes need to be associated with more A-listers. We saw the link with Serena Williams because Meghan has been close to her for some time. But the Pat Tillman Award recently was with 76,000, and also a fierce attack by Mary Tillman on Harry personally. I mean, this was a very controversial ceremony, and there's absolutely no doubt that I think it will be a very considerable time before the Sussexes get other awards, given this very, very strong backlash that happened. So it may well be that Harry might pop in 2 months, who knows? But equally, my own feeling is that if they don't, or he doesn't appear here, they certainly ought to appear somewhere, because these are once time 100 top people. They should be in demand. We'll have to see and wait to find out how far American Riviera Orchard, Meghan's brand, which she's gradually launching, how that catches on, how her entertainment program for Netflix goes, and what interest it will spark, and where will Harry and Meghan be seen next. So will Harry attend? We'll have to see, of course. But the reason for the rumours is very clearly the fact that you've got something that's very spectacular, and like Brooklyn Beckham's wedding, it's the sort of thing that they would want to, or he would want, or they would want to make an appearance at. Have they been asked? Well, I haven't got the guest list. I think, well, I mean, regarding the Hollywood Rich List, it's firstly, the Archwell isn't the hottest ticket in Hollywood when it comes to charities, and what we've heard about it in recent months, it's not sparked a great deal of interest. Regarding the Rich List and regarding, I mean, their money is undoubtedly, with all these reports, I mean, they're looking at a paperback copy of Spare. Normally, if you have a hit, you would have a paperback within 6 months to a year. Now, it's very considerably longer than that. The reason is it would cause an enormous amount of trouble if that paperback did exist and included any of the 400 pages that Harry apparently cut out because it's too controversial. I mean, you can just imagine that people in the United States and the Commonwealth and elsewhere would think it was highly inappropriate, especially at the time when 2 members of the royal family are seriously ill. But assuming that nothing happens in book form, we're looking obviously, clearly we're looking at Netflix and Meghan's cookery entertainment program, Harry's polo series. I mean, that's what they're offering. Is it enough? Will it keep the contract past the date next year, with Netflix no longer needing royals to, so to speak, boost the crown? Well, there's a tremendous amount of interest in what they do. But then, of course, when Harry got the Pat Tillman Award, so-called for service, which I think was the big problem, you can see the backlash. So to counter this backlash, they need A-listers to support them. They need someone at the level of Oprah. They have Serena Williams, but again, this was a very controversial event, the ESPYs with the Pat Tillman Award for service going to Harry. So, I mean, we'll have to see.